Just when you thought 2020 could not get any scarier, well, be prepared to be scared in the good way for some. We're talking about Scream-a-geddon, how they are bringing it back, bringing the scares back, and how you can have some, I say fun lightly, but at least I know I'm going to have fun here because once again, we are welcoming back to the show Winston McDaniel. Good morning, Winston. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, so we go to all the scary footage there as we're introing you. And then Winston's like, yep, chill it at the house. Don't have any of your friends working around you this year.
It's weird how fast you become acclimated to all that when you work inside this industry. You're like, scary cons? Yeah, those are coworkers, you know?
That's something I will remember and think about. Hopefully next year we'll be back in studio when those guys are lurking. I'll pass that on to Carly too. Say, just look at it as coworkers. So it is. You know, Winston, when we heard Scream-a-geddon was going to be back, I saw the email. Mm-hmm. You know, it really was good to hear that. It was good to hear that because it's such a Halloween tradition for so many people in the Bay Area to go and visit and get scared at Scream-a-geddon. Talk about the changes that were made and when you did get the green light and you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, so we were monitoring the situation pretty much once this all started happening, or I guess it was around March. And we really wanted to have the event because, like you said, we have a lot of fans in the Bay Area and even beyond other states who love to come to Scream-a-geddon every year. So we started looking at everything we could do to make the event as safe as possible for everybody. So, you know, first and foremost, our property is about 20 acres plus. So there is ample room for social distancing and it's pretty much all outside. So it's, you know, there's no super enclosed spaces. You know, our houses are built in ways to make it look like they're super enclosed, but they're actually not, as it's all a little bit of an illusion that we do in all of our set design. And we're doing other things this year differently to make sure things are safe. First and foremost, everybody that comes into the facility, whether it's a staff member or it's a guest, has to go through a temperature check, in which if anybody over 100.4 will be asked not to enter the park because we can't have anybody with fever-like temperatures coming inside. And all guests and staff have to wear masks while they are inside the park, whether that's the midway, especially in the queue lines, and especially inside the attractions. And we kind of went a step further with our actors because, you know, a scary clown with like one of those like blue surgical masks on their face is kind of a little bit weird. So we went and we kind of designed these, you know, kind of character masks that they can wear that kind of still fit the costume that they're wearing. So it looks like that all the monsters are practicing wearing masks and being safe, but still being creepy in their own right. So, you know, we've got like clown ones, you know, our new haunted house, Ravenhill Asylum has some nasty little kind of bloody gauze ones, things like that. So our staff are wearing masks at all times. So we can keep safe that way. You know, we're also operating at 50% capacity. So there's even more room for social distancing because we know, and a lot of people in the haunted house industry know that on busy nights, especially in October on Saturdays, there's a lot of people in these parks. So we just say, you know what, we're going to cut it down. We're going to cut it in half, which is pretty much a lot of parks around the state are doing. So we can have a lot of social distancing that way. So people can focus on, you know, being safe while being scared at the same time.
Well, since you are going to be able to cut it down, even more reason to get your tickets early. We're sharing the website at the bottom of your screen there to get tickets. The question I always ask each year, you kind of touched on it already. What is new? What's new that those regular patrons are going to be able to get scared with this year?
Yeah, so for the last couple of years, our guests have been, because we survey our guests at the end of every year, like, what do you want to see for next year? Mm-hmm. And pretty much overwhelmingly, people are like, we want a haunted asylum, a mental hospital inside your park. And we're like, okay, we can do that. So finally, we kind of put all our creative minds together and we created what's called Ravenhill Asylum. It is a very intricate and large house. I'm pretty sure it's the largest and most intricate house that we've done so far. Every year that we make a new house, we kind of learn from the mistakes from the previous one and learn how to make it scarier and make it better. And so we built the Ravenhill Asylum, which is probably going to be most people's favorites this year. It's one of those houses that tends to just not end. Like you think you're going to turn the corner and okay, cool, this is the exit. Yeah. And it's like, oh, nope, that's another terrifying room full of a bunch of things that I don't want to be in front of right now. And then it ends in a way, the ending of that house, in my opinion, is the best of any house in the entire park. It's really unsettling. It's really creepy. And you just kind of want to get out of it in the best way possible. I know that's kind of confusing terminology, which is a lot of things in the haunted house industry. Like all of the negatives sound positive. You know, it's terrifying, it's disgusting, but like that's kind of like
That's what you want. That's what you want. Well, you say that haunted house isn't going to end. Unfortunately, we are out of time for this segment. Get your tickets. Scream-a-geddon. Always great to see you, Winston. Thanks for being with us today. And again, ScreamAGEDDON.com. I don't think Carly will be logging on anytime soon. Hopefully you at home will.